Charlie and Natasha for Kracht Amsterdam, and we're here with today's home workout. And the home workout is a bit of bodybuilding because we're going to do 18 reps of a single bent arm row with one side, then 18 reps of a single bent arm row with the other side, into 18 overhead triceps extensions. And that is a new movement that we haven't done at home yet, but today will be the day. After you did 18 of each, you go for 16 of each, then you go for 12 of each, and as the fatigue becomes more and more, the reps will go down as well. So we hope that you can make long unbroken sets. After the round of 12, you have 9 of each, 6 of each, and you end with 3 bend over rows one side, 3 bend over rows other side, and 3 triceps extensions. After this upper body work, we go immediately into some lower body and core work because we're having the same rep scheme, but this time we have split squats with one foot in front, split squats with the other foot in front, and plank jacks, which is basically the foot movement of a jumping jack, but then from a plank position. As I said, 18 of each, 15 of each, then 12, then 9, then 6, and you end with 3 split squats one side, 3 split squats other side, and 3 of those plank jacks. Before we're going to run you through the movement standards of these movements in the workout, we're going to go through a mobility part, followed by a upper body warm-up and a lower body warm-up, very similar to the setup of this workout, and then we're going to help you out with the movements. So please join Natasha straight away and get yourself in a down-facing dog position. We're going to hold this position for approximately 40 seconds, and what we want you to do is to really feel how your body is feeling in this down-facing dog today. Maybe your hamstrings are a bit stiff. If so, you want to drive your heels down one at a time. Maybe your shoulders feel a bit tight, then you might want to push your nose towards your knees a few times. And you're staying in this position. You want to lengthen at the spines, so you want to kind of push your bum up as high as possible, as if it's raising to the ceiling. And after 40 seconds, which is in 3, 2, 1, you take a big step forward, and you're going to be on the floor with your elbows low. And we're going to hold this lizard just really briefly. And switch sides, other side, big step forward, quickly elbows on the floor. Because it's just 10 seconds, I want you to go into it quickly. And then we're going to do a whole other round. So get back in the down facing dog position. One more time. It's only a minute in total, but it's really getting the body ready for all these weightlifting movements. For the movements of today, you can do it with any weight that you have available. It could be done with a dumbbell, with a kettlebell, or with a backpack. And Natasha's just going to hold the position for another 10 seconds, and then we move straight into that lizard again. 3, 2, 1, big lunge, elbows low. And especially it's important that the inside elbow is as low to the floor as possible. 2, 1, switch the legs. We're holding the pose for another 3, 2, 1, and relaxed. Good. Warming up. So choose whether you want to do this with the backpack, a dumbbell, or a kettlebell. Natasha will demonstrate it with the kettlebell. We're going to start off with standing in a tall position, and then we do 5 single arm high pulls from a standing position with one arm. So notice that Natasha will make a proper deadlift. Then from there, from standing still, she's going to bring her elbow towards the ceiling. The weight stays in front of her body, and she's going to make 5 repetitions. Please join us straight away. After 5 reps with one side, you're going to switch arms. You're going to go for 5 reps with the other side. And these high pulls are really activating the upper back. Then we'll go for single arm presses. So you're going to get the weight in the front rack position. You make 5 presses with one side. All the way from the handle below the chin to a full overhead position. Hand stays in line with the shoulder. And after 5, you switch sides again. You go for the other side. If you would be doing this with a backpack, feel free to go for double arm high pulls for 10, and then for double hand presses for 10, instead of doing it single arm for 5. This round, you're going to repeat for another 2 rounds, 5 of the high pulls per arm and then 5 of the presses per arm. Before you do so, quickly set us to pause. And then we're going to do a similar setup for the lower body. So feel free to add the weight if you want to. Natasha will demo it with no weight. We're starting off our first round. Join us straight away with 5 narrow stance squats. So your feet will be as close together as you can still maintain the bottom of your squat. So you have to bring your hips lower than the knees. Move slowly. And then after 5 repetitions, you're going to place your feet a bit wider. And then we're going to go for 5 normal foot position squats. And then probably you feel that the bottom is now a bit easier to hold. It's not a sprint, and if you hold the weight, you'll just hold it in the goblet position. Then we're gonna widen the feet again for 5 wide stance squats. And this might feel a bit, funny in your crotch area. It's really opening the hips, this one. After 5 of those, we go to the floor for hollow rocks. And then important here is that you make sure that your lower back always rocks over the floor nicely. Up and down counts as 1 rep. We do 15 in total. And if you think to yourself, I can't keep that back on the floor, then you'll just tuck your knees a bit more. So Natasha will demo that like this. And then you make it a bit easier to keep the back on the floor. The further your legs are away, the more strength you need for it. The closer the legs would come to your midline, the easier it actually becomes. 15 of those. So what I want you to do is make another 2 rounds of this again. As I said, 5 of each of the squats, narrow, normal and wide, and then 15 of the hollow rocks. But before you do so, pause. And then we are continuing to the standards of the movements in the workout. And we're starting off with the first movement, which is a single arm bend over row. Now it's not the first time you're doing it. This time Natasha will get a jumble. She's going to be bending over, her back stays straight. Notice that her knees are not completely locked, but they're soft, and she's pulling the weight towards her body. What you need to look for or think about is that you kind of bring your elbow up as high as possible. Then for the 1 arm bend over rows with the other side, obviously it works exactly the same. Then we have overhead triceps extensions, so those will be from a standing position. And basically what you're going to do with your elbows pointing towards the ceiling is bringing the weight behind your head and then extending both arms at the same time to straight arm position overhead. So this can be done with the kettlebell or with the backpack as well, as long as you always aim for keeping this full lockout position of the arm. And you see with me that is already a bit harder. You see this angle here. That's obviously a mobility thing, but you keep the angle that's for you possible, and then you go to the full extension, regardless of the weight you're using. This you do for 18 in the first round, 15 in the second round, and in the last round, 3 of each. Then for the leg, the lower body work, you have split squats. You can do this weighted by holding the weight in front of you, but you can also choose to do this with no weight, of course. In the split squats, you're in kind of that lunge position, but both legs are straight. You go down and you stand back up. Now the feet are not going to be moving in the split squat, the feet are staying in place. And as you see when she goes down, her front knee always stays kind of in line with her ankle. So it's really bending not just the front leg, but also the back leg. Obviously, after all of them with 1 foot in front, you do the same with the other foot in front. And then we have plank jacks. And in the plank jacks, you're planking on your elbows. And basically what you're going to do is bringing the feet out in a jump at the same time and then back in a jump at the same time. And the goal is to keep the butt nice and low. So for the people that can maybe not jump, think of people that are postpartum. You're going to step your feet out and step them back in, and that will count as 1 rep. Out, out, in, 1 repetition. Thank you, Natasha. Also for this one, down running ladder, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, and you're ending with 3 of each. As soon as you finish your last 3 plank jacks, you check your time, and that time is your score for the workout. These scores you can log in the SportBit app, and therefore you can, 1, keep track of your own results for if we do this one again, maybe in a month from now, we don't know. And then the other reason is that you can, of course, compare yourself to your gym buddies and see who won today, which is maybe giving you a bit of extra stimulation or motivation to push a bit harder today. That being said, we want to wish you good luck.
And enjoy.
Bye, guys. Bye.